Hey cats, it's Dad. It is the Friday, the weekend's here. Wow, what a day. Let's bring you up to speed. Well, today I put my 2 weeks notice in at work. I have a new opportunity with a company up in Green Bay. A little farther drive, but other than the drive, it's an absolutely unbelievable opportunity. Fast forward to this morning. Had a meeting with the gentleman who runs the pre-press department here at work, and was really scared as hell to have to talk to him. Scared that he might be mad. Scared that who knows? You just don't know. You don't know what is going to happen. You don't know where things are going to go in that regard. Had a 9:30 call with him and a 10:30 call with my boss, who's actually in Virginia. After a lot of prayer and a lot of thought about what I would actually say, I started off talking about some items of interest that were going on, and many times I would just walk in his office and do that. And then after that took place, then I said, I'm looking at taking a position with a different company. It's a supplier, and it's a new direction, which it is. They just bought a Xerox iGen digital press, $500,000 worth of equipment. They want to go into the web to print realm. There's a lot of neat things that are going on, and he was actually really happy for me. Certainly disappointed and sad that I would be leaving after 14 and a half years, but you get the picture. And he shook my hand and he said congratulations, which was kind of neat. And then I went and told Kevin and Brian, who are my two partners that I've worked with for the last 11. Brian's been there the whole time. Kevin's been there since 97, so 97, 98, and I've worked closely with him on a daily basis for the last 12 odd years. And I broke down, and it was hard. It's hard telling people you love and that you work with that you're no longer going to be there. But things around that place just aren't the same, and it's different, and it's I spend a lot of time cleaning up messes that I didn't start, and I'm good enough to clean up the mess, but I'm not good enough to be involved in the onset and those types of things. And but this isn't a negative thing. I love my job. I love the people I work with, but it's just time to do something different. It's time to go in a different direction. It's time for me to be able to steer my own boat. Working for the big corporate world and hearing, well, that's not the way we do it, or that type of thing. I'm not interested in red tape. I'm interested in solving problems and keeping things moving forward. So I met with first gentleman, and then went back to my office, told Kevin and Brian. Had a real tough time with that, because I don't want them to feel like I let them down. But I got a big hug out of Kevin and a huge warm handshake from Brian. Big hug from my buddy Bruce. And then I called my boss and I talked to him about a couple different things, and then he asked me, then we started talking about some different things, and then ultimately it went to this, and all he could say is, wow, really? Wow. Today in the plant that I worked at, really the sweetest email went out to everybody telling them what was going on, and of course that brought tears to my eyes, because I guess I don't look at myself in some of those ways, and I didn't know how today was going to go. I didn't know if they were just going to walk me to the door and say thank you. I didn't know if give my laptop to Brian and here's a backup drive and you hold it and that's the end of it. I didn't know if that's the way it was going to go. I didn't know, but it went so great. I even got a phone call from the president of the book group, and he said, he asked me a couple questions, and said, sorry you weren't happy. And I said, you know, it's not about being happy. I was happy, I just wasn't as happy as I think I could be. And then he said something that really floored me. He said, thank you. He said, thank you for the things that you did for us. And that meant a lot. That meant a lot. That was very nice. I have so many friends, and hopefully over the next 2 weeks I'll get an opportunity to shake hands with them, and hopefully there'll be some sort of little happy hour for Tommy coming up, and we can have a Diet Coke or two and just talk and just reminisce, and it'll be fun. It's amazing to have so many friends. When, you know, people today said, you know, it's going to be sad not having you around, and the answer is yes. But the way I look at it is, I have this big group of friends, and now I'm just going to have more friends, and yeah, it's going to suck. My last day, I'm just going to be a wreck. I know I am. I'm borderline a wreck now. It's a move that needed to take place. It's a move that is the best for my family. The growth, the ability for me to spread my wings and to soar and to go someplace that nobody could take me where I currently am. I absolutely love the people I work with. You know, there are some little skin knees and speed bumps. Some of my social media talents certainly weren't loved where I was at, and kind of curtailed in some ways. But you know what? We got through it. I'm a better person, and I look forward to the possibilities. I look forward to the time. It's going to be different. It's going to be different for the family. It's going to be different. But I look forward to the new challenges. I look forward to the growth. I look forward to the digital dialogue of how am I going to build this? How am I going to take this company and move them into a place together that they can't move on their own? How am I going to do that? How am I going to work with this team of people and just collaborate and make something big? You know, where I was at Bonta and my new business at Bonta, I was able to make something great. After the merger, it was more of you got to conform with it, and that's the corporate structure, and you know, that was great for a little while, but you know, now it's time for a little bit. Now it's time for greatness on a different level. It's kind of scary, but at the same rate, it's kind of neat. So I did it. Yep, I did it. You know, in some ways I feel like I'm letting people down that I hate. Because I'm not used to letting people down. I'm always the go-to guy. I'm the guy. Go to that guy. He'll solve it. And now they're asking me, well, who's going to take your spot? I can't solve that. But you know what? I did it. I did it. I'm doing it, and it's happening. And you guys are all along for the ride. I love you, Madeline. I love you, Claire. I love you, Tommy. I love you, baby Drew, and I love you, Emma. Today's the first day of the rest of my life. I love you guys. Bye.